Hey, P-Dubs. What's up, Tom? How you doing, man? Got me a squirrel. I got me a squirrel. Don't skin the rest of it. I got me a squirrel. Good afternoon there, Tom. My friend. Let me see. I just skinned this son of a gun last night. Not trying to gross anybody out here either. Actually, I pulled that tail out cleanly. I could actually take that tail skin. It does look like the first lips, though. I will scrape at that a little bit. This is where I got him, right in that spot, right through the heart, dude. Some little fleshy bits on there still. Great. I'm glad you're terrific, Tom. Terrific Tom. Isn't that your other green name too? I'm gonna take these legs off too, I think. To the extent that I need to. Let me get my knife out. Small woodlot. Pat in the house. Just gonna be this squirrel. I don't know what's gonna happen with this squirrel. It's gonna get. I'm gonna tan it first and then go from there. They only make a little tiny square, but they're really nice. So, use the whole animal type thing, you know. All I'm doing there is just splitting open the leg so that I can get after the other stuff. Obviously educational purposes here. These legs I took off during the cleaning process. It gets kind of difficult to deal with those little spindly legs. I was able to pull the skin off and the tail together, which I wasn't able to do last time. Scrape that a little bit. DT says member stickers arrived today. Whoop whoop! Congratulations, man. I'm glad to hear that. Now, hopefully, shipping away from Devon is not the same as shipping into Devon. You know. That's this little fleshy spot right here. Kind of my little mini fleshing beam here. Got one little spot on either side of the belly that I think I need to get. This was a pretty large male here. And then I'll show y'all what else I'm going to do. I got a bunch of stuff to do in Dad's workshop today. Tons of stuff, actually. If I had a camera person, I would be like, move the camera and show them the rainwater and the ash that I've collected, which is down here. Boom, rainwater and ash. Now, my ash is wet, so see that? I have to use more. This is gonna go in here, and I'm gonna put that squirrel pelt in there, and that squirrel pelt's gonna lose this fur. We're gonna get rid of this fur so that we have a better, we don't need the fur on there. Squirrel fur slips crazy easily. It's very easy. Very easily slips. I froze this guy. So everyone didn't leave, guys. YouTube has got issues with their server. They blamed it on me email, and I know it's not me because I've tested my internet connection here. Yep. Try one more time here. I'm at a loss, y'all. I don't know what to tell you. We got internet. The world has internet. This is something else. Something else going on, y'all. I mean, Wes is live. His live's not having a problem, so y'all can, y'all want to see somebody, maybe, you know. I'm glad you see me, man. I would apologize, but I don't know what to apologize for not being able to be live. Like, I've done everything I can do from here. I contacted YouTube. Nobody's leaving the stream, y'all. Don't say stuff like that. It's just that the stream's getting disconnected, and so people are getting booted. That's what's happening. It's very upsetting. It's very upsetting. No one's leaving out of stuff. Yeah, if it's disconnected, I understand you're leaving out because you don't see nothing, you know? I think the buckskin is really a term for the treatment of the animal, like, how you deal with the pelt rather than the actual animal. Because, like, the buckskin I have is from does. It's not even bucks, right? So it's really a term for the treatment of the pelt. I mean, I'm nothing if not a person that can roll with the punches. I can do that. I just don't feel like I should have to do that here. Like, shouldn't be something I have to do. This is a squirrel, by the way, y'all. I'm just kind of giving it a fleshing here. I fleshed it, or, handled it last night was when I actually cleaned it off and took the pellets off. We got a couple little holes right here, similar to the way it was last time, just little mini holes towards the edge. That would have been where he was shot, so that makes sense. Yeah, just leave the top layer. Good question. Does that just leave the top layer? So this is the pelt here. This is what we would call the flesh side. This would be the grain side that has the hair on it, right? Now I can try to scrape this hair right now. I'm not interested in keeping it really. Squirrel hair really slips real easily. It's not, as you can see, it's not super thick coat too when it's wet. So I'm not interested in keeping the hair. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show y'all what the next step is. We're gonna take this and put it into a solution. Now, when you guys were getting disconnected and stuff, while I was fidgeting here, while I was getting disconnected, I took a knife and sliced all the way up the tail. I don't think I had the entire tail last time. So I sliced up the entire tail. So that, and it seems pretty clean. Couple little spots here, maybe right here on the edge, I could probably get some of this off. You don't want to leave much on there. You don't want to leave anything on there if possible. Got a few little spots of flesh there. That's kind of subdermal. It's hanging on to to the flesh side there. Kind of just bulldoze it to the outside. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. My name is Calvin. What we're doing right now is fleshing a squirrel, gray squirrel, which I just saw guys going hunting this morning. They were headed out, some old guys with their orange hats on, most likely to squirrel hunt. That's the season it is now, like small game. Hey, appreciate you, Max. Max, welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for hitting that like button. And if you're from Russia, which it may be that you are, I will say privet. Privet. I think that's how you say it. I'm learning. I'm learning, y'all. Learning to say, oh, and I know I lost some people from earlier. Apologize about that. I call him Max, but it's Mac, isn't it? I need to put my glasses on. There's also some residual hair here we want to get from the flesh side if we can. Stretch this thing out as much as possible. And I'm going to show y'all, we're almost at the next step now. This is just what you would do with a large hide too, just on a smaller scale. Right here, I'm going to take this little piece of kind of membrane. I don't know why that wants to be stubborn. There's two spots right there, almost like what a deer has under the skin. They have this little, like, these tags that are kind of under the skin that tell the skin to twitch when there's flies on it. It's like an intelligent kind of a nerve or something that I think hooved animals have. Now, this is not a hooved animal, obviously. This is a squirrel, but they may have this similar thing. I don't know. There we go. I'm just going to take that edge off. Looks like we're pretty clean. I mean, it needs to be scraped some more, probably after I put it through this next process, which I will show you right now. How long could you wait before skinning a hide? Why isn't it easier if it's thawed or dried out? Why isn't it easier? I'm not an expert, but yeah, nah, maybe, mate. I want to say this. This squirrel I harvested last Tuesday. I froze it, and you want to freeze or salt it right away. So I froze this hide. I put it on. I was hunting in the snow, so it was easy to do that. I put it in snow. I packed it. I field dressed it, packed its body with snow, put snow around it, put more snow on top of that, put a bag around that, put more snow on that, and then I drove a couple hours. But it was packed with snow. So you want to work a hide as soon as possible. But if you can't, you can still make great leather with really funky, rotten hides. And I'll talk about that in my next long form video. But thank you, yeah, nah, maybe, mate, for the question. As soon as possible is the answer. Freeze it if possible. And if you're talking about just the hide, you know, if you're not eating the animal or whatever, I'm not even talking about the meat or whatever. If you're taking the hide should be like salted and rolled up, or rolled up and frozen. Or excuse me, salted and stretched, which I've done numerous times here. I've even done a squirrel that way. I'm not going to do this one that way. I'm going to put this straight into the bucking solution, which y'all will see right now. But you want to start ASAP, man. You don't want rot, just for your own health and safety, really, as much as you can avoid that. it's better because you know, you accidentally cut yourself or something and you've got something real funky you're dealing with, you might end up with like a blood infection. So, thanks. Yeah, it was a delicious squirrel. Sorry, folks who are vegetarians. Next for this, right? This is what we're gonna do next. Let's move this over. This is rainwater. I recommend everyone to do rainwater catchment. This is ash right here. We're gonna put some of this ash, actually all of this ash, which is kind of wet, into this rainwater right here. Then we're gonna put the squirrel hide in there. That's what we're gonna do right now. Now you gotta use like 5 times the weight if it's wet. So I'm gonna mix this. This is all ash and hopefully no, see there's little bits of coal in there. You wanna avoid that. You wanna avoid any like pieces of charcoal as much as possible. You could strain it probably and get that. Basically what I'm making is essentially a lye solution. This is like a weak sodium hydroxide. So I'm leaching it from the charcoal, or from the ash, excuse me. So I'm gonna put the squirrel hide in that for a few days. I'm gonna let it get, it's pretty cold. Hopefully that will loosen that hair up and swell the hide a bit. What's up, Mike? Mike is making stuff. Mims in the house. Valued member, Mims. So we got our squirrel hide. We're gonna take our squirrel hide. I kind of want to scrape this bit right here. Little bits on the edge here. This was a fattier squirrel. I think my brother asked me how many chicken nuggets or something this morning. I was like, man, it was way more than, I think people underestimate. A squirrel is a decent meal, dude. Now we're gonna let that, and we want to wash that stuff all off because there's debris in there. It's not the best way to do this, but it is a way to do it. You know, I'd rather use this than lye because I don't want to mess that grain up on the hide. So what you see in here is like basically a bucking solution here. Yeah, I ate the squirrel, man. It was actually really good. Brilliant, brilliant, mate. That's how it was. Yep, I totally ate it. So I didn't even do that, man. I actually cooked it all, in indirect heat. I set up charcoal and pushed the charcoal forward and cooked the whole thing indirect heat. I can put it on my Discord if y'all want to see it. I don't want to. I obviously wouldn't. Don't want to gross people out on here, but you know, it's a squirrel. It was like, honestly, I'm surprised people aren't shouting it from the rooftops. It was delicious, like super good, super good. Like kind of like a combination between a wing and a rib, like somewhere between a ring and a wing and a rib. And I told my brother probably like 4 to maybe 6 chicken wings worth, probably something like that. So yeah, we're gonna let that soak in there, kind of like a makeshift lye solution with just ash and water. Is basically what that is, rainwater. Heather thought chicken thigh. Yeah. First time she tasted it. So shout out to Heather for giving it a shot. You know, you gotta try new things. In the world, you never know when you're gonna be out there, dude. I'll tell you right now. Knowing what I know now, that's fine. People can think they're gross. Mole for me. I don't know, DT. Yeah, well, in a way, Rob, it was like, yeah, it was. She said it was more chicken. I thought it was less chicken-like because I did skin on, so like I ate it with the skin, so it had like a porkish kind of a. I was telling somebody like a crackling. Yeah, it's legit, man. Legit. I don't know if plywood's ever had squirrel before. I think pretty much almost every country person has probably tried it. There's different ways to prepare it, but this way, I grilled it last night. I had a grill going anyway, so I went ahead and grilled it off. Pushed the charcoal forward, grilled it off heat. I'm excellent. I don't mind telling you all this. I'm a great cook. I'm actually a really good cook, so I do know how to cook things. All right, let's do some scraping. Now, this is a hawk right here that I had in tannins and other stuff for a long time. It seemed like the fur was slipping a little bit off of this. So I want to see on these, if the fur is slipping, I'm going to scrape it off. These are going to go out to my members. This is a deer hawk here. I want to give it one more moisturization, probably this one. If the hair is not slipping. If the hair is slipping, I'm going to scrape it off, and then I'm gonna tan it again. So I'll show you all that. I got some new tannin that I cooked up too. Yeah. Yeah, Rob, I don't know what the rules are in England. You guys are allowed to have airsoft guns. You know, they'll go down with one of those. Here's another hawk. This one I think the hair is slipping on, so I want to make sure if the hair is slipping that I pull the hair off, right? I want to get rid of all the hair if the hair is slipping. This looks like it would make decent felt. I'm going to save this hair. I think it's the hollow hairs that don't felt well. Y'all see this? See the hair like almost looks like it would make decent felt, doesn't it? Huh. Yeah, so I'm the cook, kind of the cook around here. So my idea was like I've seen them cooked as one piece. I know generally when people cook squirrel, they separate the hindquarters and stuff from the back and that. I just wanted to cook it up like campfire style, kind of. Definitely the dogs like squirrel. They kind of got me psyched about it actually. Heather, maybe she can Google whether this yeah, BK said, oh, I'd help Heather learn how to cook wild game. Not everyone knows. Looks like we're freezing again. Hopefully not here. Yeah, this one I guess. Well, this squirrel I got was like a, and I try not to talk about this on YouTube because I think it's considered controversial content or whatever. But that's not really my goal. But I got this squirrel actually after a couple days of squirrel hunting. There's tons of squirrels there, but I didn't really have my rifle, I'll loosely call it that, was not sighted in exactly right. Though my shot on this squirrel was perfect. Yeah, the air rifle is just got to check in your, in England, what are the rules on hunting squirrels and, what season. I'm sure they have many. I know England has very firm hunting regulations, and they have since forever. So. don't know if I want to scrape that hard on this. This is not worth it. Hey y'all, you back? We're gonna keep trying to come to y'all live every day. You know, YouTube is pushing the blame off on other people, and you know, bless their hearts. It's not us though. I know people want to think that it's us. It's not. YouTube is having issues, and it's clearly that. I mean, you can do that by, you can find that out by deduction. When they say it's my fault, it's crazy. I can't stand to hear it because I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? I see the other creators have the same problem, or I thought. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe other creators don't have the same problem. You know, I think they're struggling for bandwidth is what they're struggling for. They just don't have enough. Makes total sense to me, man. There's like two ways, in my opinion, to monetize nowadays. And I'm going to say this before I get disconnected again. One is to make a killer sweet video that goes viral and you monetize in one go. This is just my opinion. And the other is to live stream your ass off every single day until you build your community. If people know that the one that they can control is the live stream your ass off every day one, and that the video that they're not going to make America's greatest video, is probably, they're never going to make a viral video. Once they realize that, then they start live streaming, and YouTube has very loose rules on who live streams. But here's what I'm going to do, since I'm off again. Are we back again? What I'm going to do is I'm going to say goodbye for today. I'm going to work on my long form video. I'm going to come back tomorrow fresh, just like I did today, to do my dad's workshop. But I can't, if there's no continuity, I can't work in it. The grandma lady kidnapped in Arizona. Yeah, 80K. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. That's definitely in the news. I don't think that's what it is, though. Yeah. I mean, those aren't even really live. That's like people hijacking news companies, basically, and streaming those live. Yeah. Seems like a problem to me, bro. But, I don't know. I love y'all. Appreciate you. Thanks for being members of Dad's Workshop. We're going to keep trying every day. We just keep trying to bring you content. YouTube is going to be difficult. There's not a whole lot we can do. I can contact YouTube. I'm going to keep going, though. It'll probably, like it did in the past, I have faith that it will come back. I love y'all and appreciate you. This definitely cuts into my income and my ability to make a living here. And so, as I've told YouTube, this is not a small thing for me. When they disconnected my people, and thank you Rob, appreciate you. Yeah, it's not a small thing when you cut into my live stream like this, and this is oh, it's because you got some, and they try to use some jargon. Let me read some of the, I should read what they send me. Stuff that I don't even understand, man. Doesn't even make sense. And then it basically is shifting the blame. Oh, we understand your frustration, but it's your fault, buddy. That's what they're saying. Anyway, it's not. Yeah, it's not our fault. It's clearly them. I mean, they definitely got there's channels here with a lot of people watching. You know.